Hello once again, students. Welcome back to your virtual English class. My name is Adrián Castro, and today we are starting a brand new unit. For the next couple of videos, we will be seeing morals and values. So let's go ahead and start this new unit with Morals and Values Part 1. As you might have guessed, we of course need to begin by explaining and defining the basis of this unit, which are the concepts of morals and values. These two words may seem very similar to each other, and they actually kind of are, but still need to be differentiated to be understood correctly. Let's start with morals. This can be defined as a person's standards of behavior or beliefs concerning what is and is not acceptable for them to do, and is typically also referred to as a teaching extracted from a true or fictional story. For example, a moral can be something along the lines of helping the elderly in a difficult situation when possible. This is thought to be a good moral to have. On the other hand, values can be defined as a person's principles or standards of behavior, one's judgment of what is important in life. For example, many people have the value of always trying to be as respectful as possible, or perhaps always being honest, or even behaving as educated as possible. If the difference between these two are not fully clear, don't worry. In further lessons, we'll be seeing more examples to show the difference in these two concepts that can be very similar. Now, let's move on to this lesson's vocabulary. But before we do, an important note to keep in mind while learning this following vocabulary. Some of the words we will see are contextual in meaning or are a combination of two words that when alone have alternative meanings. So please understand that many words can have many meanings depending on the context that they are used in conversation. Analyzed. This word is divided into 3 syllables and is pronounced analyzed. It can be defined as something that has been examined methodically and in detail. Corrupt. This word is divided into 2 syllables and is pronounced corrupt. It can be defined as something that is evil or morally depraved, such as a person not following the law. Profit. This word is divided into 2 syllables and is pronounced profit. It can be defined as to obtain a financial advantage or benefit, especially from an investment. Arms dealers. This term is divided into 3 total syllables and is pronounced arms dealers. It can be defined as a person or business that sells weapons and other military equipment. Blood diamonds. This term is divided into 3 total syllables and is pronounced blood diamonds. It can be defined as diamonds that are mined in a war zone and sold to finance an invading army's war efforts. Royalty. This word is divided into 3 syllables and is pronounced royalty. It can be defined as people of royal blood or status, such as the sons and daughters of kings and queens. Crackdown. This term is divided into 2 syllables and is pronounced crackdown. It can be defined as severe punishment to restrict or discourage undesirable or illegal people or behaviors. Now that we've learned this lesson's vocabulary, let's go ahead and do some reading. As usual, I invite you to follow me and read along with me, as well as pay attention to the important details within the text, as after you will answer a few questions as practice. You'll notice that the words we saw in the vocabulary portion are in this text. Since they're so specific, it was necessary to explain for you to understand what they mean in this context. Records that were analyzed by reporters in the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists show that British banking giant HSBC provided accounts to international criminals, corrupt businessmen, politicians, and celebrities. HSBC profited from doing business with arms dealers who provided bombs going to child soldiers in Africa, dictators, traffickers in blood diamonds, and other international criminals, ICIJ reported. The records identify former and current politicians from Britain, Russia, India, and various African countries, Saudi, Bahraini, Jordanian, and Moroccan royalty. The information from reports are likely to create a crackdown on wealthy corporations and companies, a key political issue in Britain and Europe. Now that we've concluded this article reading, it's time to do some practice. Let's begin, friends. Answer if the statement is true or false. The article describes that HSBC has helped criminals through its banks. The correct answer is true. The article tells us that the HSBC chain of banks did in fact help criminals and corrupt businessmen. HSBC helped some criminals in certain ways and profited from it. The correct answer is true. The article tells us that HSBC benefited from the transactions they made with the shady individuals they helped in the past. Corrupt businessmen are the best people to trust with your money. The correct answer is false. It is common sense to never do such a thing. Your money should only be deposited to a trustworthy bank that will benefit your interest. Blood diamonds are called blood diamonds because they are red in color. The correct answer is false. The word blood has nothing to do with the color of the diamonds themselves, only with the very unethical manner in which they are mined and sold. According to the article, HSBC clients included members of royal families. The correct answer is true. The article mentions how various African royal families were caught in the HSBC dilemma. Now that we've completed our practice, let's review what we learned today. We went over the concepts of morals and values, hoping to start clearing a differentiation between these concepts. Then, we went over key vocabulary that is relevant to the later text we read. And lastly, we made it through a true or false practice based on the HSBC corrupt dilemma. If you happen to have any doubts, I would suggest rewatching this video. Perhaps you missed a couple bits of important information along the way, but luckily, you can watch this video and all others as many times as you need to ensure you learn as much as possible. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something valuable. Stay tuned for my next video where we will continue with Morals and Values Part 2. Take care and stay safe. See you next time.